Once you are confident that the base level and dimensions are accurate, refer to your base plan diagram and lay all the sill pieces onto the base. At this stage, it is important to ensure that the sill is level, in the correct position, and using your roof plan, which is attached to the checklist images in box A, check that the internal sill measurements are correct. To assist with the positioning of the sill, place a spirit level against the inside face of the external brickwork and draw a line along the inside edge of the spirit level using a wax crayon. The inside face of the sill should be positioned against this line and onto the base. It is important to ensure that every run of sill has two 70mm sections at one end milled out to allow the panels to be slid into the groove throughout installation. Join the sill sections with the appropriate sill connector and ensure that these are silicone sealed on all contact areas. Fix the sill connectors to the sill using the screws provided. At this stage, it is important to ensure that the sill is level, in the correct position, and using your roof plan, which is attached to the checklist images in box A, check that the internal sill measurements are correct. Once you are happy that this is accurate, drill through the sill and into the base to a depth of at least 100mm. Permanently fix through the sill using the fixing bolts. These should be positioned 100mm from each end of the sill and equally spaced. Locate the 26mm wall connector and mark out the position of the relevant fixing bolts. The first and last 60mm fixing bolt should be positioned 50mm from the top and bottom faces of the wall connector, with the rest being spaced equally between. If any of the positions marked for the 60mm fixing bolt land on mortar joints, adjust the position accordingly so that they locate over solid brick. A total of 5 fixing bolts are used per wall connector on a full height model and 3 per connector on a dwarf wall model. Position the 26mm wall connector so that the internal edge is in line with the marking that was drawn on the wall earlier. It is important to ensure that the 26mm wall connector is at an angle of 90 degrees to the base. Use timber packing if required. Ideally, this would have been accounted for when setting out the base. Pre-drill the holes with an 8mm drill. While holding the 26mm wall connector in position and ensuring that it rests onto the sill, pre-drill through the connector and into the brick using an 8mm masonry drill. On a dwarf wall model, the 26mm wall connector will need to be cut unless a door is to be positioned against the property wall. The door outer frame is then fitted in the same way as any other panel. You are now ready to fix the 26mm wall connector with fixing bolts. Repeat the process for the connector on the opposite side of the conservatory.